Hey everybody, welcome back to Jaworski Pool Practice. Have you ever watched the pros breaking and they're hitting the ball so well, the cue ball's popping up and squatting in the middle of the table here and they're getting a fantastic spread and you think to yourself, man, that's what I got to work on. The break is the most important shot in pool. And everyone tells you, what you have to do and how it's achieved, and I see all kinds of videos on technique and everything like that. But one thing they don't usually tell you is, how do you practice breaking? And what is the best way to practice breaking? Well, I have an answer for you, and it's coming right up. Okay, so this is the next thing you're going to need to practice your break. And this little device is called the BreakRAK. It was invented by Charlie Bond. And this is by far the best thing you can use to practice your break shot today. So this is the package. This is the advanced package, the pro version. It comes with 3 different sizes for adjustability for the 7-foot, 8-foot, and 9-foot tables. Now these are the bow sections, and the bow sections are adjustable. And this is the centerpiece. And this is the main thing you work with. You tension it on the side and you set it up over top of your dot of your table there where you break from, like it takes the place of the 1 ball. And this is the highest level one that Charlie makes. He's very proud of this version. This is the pro version. And it's made completely of metal and ball resin. And everything on this particular BreakRAK is from the United States of America. And he's very, very proud of that fact. So this is the most solid, most advanced version of the BreakRAK that you can get. So what you do is you set this up, you tension it onto your bow, and it takes the place of the head ball. And you can continuously practice your break over and over and over without having to stop to rack the balls. It's literally the greatest thing ever. You can get several hours of break practice achieved in like 1/3 of the time because you're not re-racking every time. So it's really unbelievable. Okay, everybody, this is the next part that you need. This is the BreakRAK here. You don't need this edition. This is the Pro Edition. But I'm going to show you guys how to set this up. This is the Pro Edition because it has 3 different adjustable sizes here for the 7-foot, 8-foot, and 9-foot tables. So let's see how this works. We're going to take the main piece here, and we're going to just put it in the middle of the table. I'm going to take the 7-foot setup here, which is the smallest one. I'm going to place that here, and I'm going to take the 2 sections of the bow. This is called the bow section, and I'm going to take this out. And that's all I'm going to need for now. So I'm going to do this up. All right. So now what we're going to do here is we're going to adjust the bow section. When you get it brand new, you take this little piece here, and there's 2 of them, and you attach them to the ends, right? Like that. And then this little screw here, it comes apart and adjusts so that you can adjust it longer or shorter. What you do with this end here is you insert one end into this and then the other end, and now you have this nice line in the very center and you got your bow completely connected. Now you take the bow and you attach one side like this and you bend it around, okay? So that you grab the top end and you bend it around, all right? And then you just pull it so that this center line is lined up with your middle diamond here, okay? And you just adjust it so that you get that just right, all right? And then you're on the way. Then what you do is you set this up right onto your dot here. You put one hook on above your adjustable mark, and then you stretch and put the other one on, and you should be set right up. You adjust that so that you can adjust it so that this is resting right on the dot evenly, right? And you can adjust the tension to make sure it's straight, okay? And basically that's it. You take these and you wrap them around, get them out of the way. All right? Just kind of wrap them around there. Got some nice tension on this. You can even increase the tension if you want, right? Get it nice and tight. So now I got the tension on that side. Now I'm going to adjust the tension on this side to get it to center line again. Now it's got nice tension on it. Just adjust it a little bit here. Adjust it with this. And away we go. So there it is. Now, like I said before, the second part of this is the iCue. Because when you put these two things in combination, I believe there's no better way to practice your break. This is 100% the best way to practice your break shot. Okay, so I'm going to open up my iCue here. Right? There it is. You can see the level, all the graph on it and everything. So that's important because we're going to want to line that up on our break shot. And I find Master Chalk works the best for doing this drill because it leaves a better mark on the iCue. All right. And you line up your shot, your break shot. You line up your iCue. Line up your break, and what you're going to do is you're just going to try to break. I'm going to try to hit center ball on my iCue here. Hit my head ball. Okay, so we see. We look at our iCue. I don't know if you could tell, but I did hit that right in the center. I'm not sure if you could see. So I know one thing. My cueing was correct. I hit it directly in the center, but you saw how the cue ball went off one side and to the other. So I know that it's my aiming that's out. There we go. Nice. Okay guys, what do you think? That's pretty cool, eh? Well, there's one other thing about this BreakRAK that I'm going to show you. And that is, you can set it up to break 9-ball if you want. You notice this is great if you're breaking head ball, right? But you're like, well, I break 9-ball all the time and I'm breaking from this side or I'm breaking from that side. No worries. You can adjust this BreakRAK just like this. You take it out, you spin it, and now, check this out. You're creating that angle that you need in order to break 9-ball. I'm going to just adjust it a little bit back this way till I'm aiming right at my cue ball, okay? And make sure that's resting right on the dot there. And Charlie does suggest, if you're using this for a long time, just put a little piece of Scotch tape just over top of the area, because sometimes the constant rubbing is gonna put a little bit of wear on your table, but it's not really that bad. So want to make sure that you're looking down the BreakRAK at the cue ball where you want to be breaking from, and you set up your iCue the same way. You aim your iCue directly at the ball. So here we go, we have the 9 ball set up. Now you have it kicked off to one side. You have this ball. What I like to do is I like to take 3 fingers, put them up against the side, and I like that because it tells me that I'm breaking from the same spot every time. Breaking well is all about consistency. You want to be able to adjust your break and your position, but most of the time when you watch the pros, what do? They break from one side, and if that's not working, they switch to the other side. So I have this set up in the 9 ball configuration. I have my position. I got my iCue lined up so I can see where I'm hitting the cue ball. I've gone ahead and I've downloaded this Predator app that is going to show me how hard I'm hitting the break. And let's give it a shot. .56 it said. Seems to matter when you touch the button off and on. So get your ball in position, get ready to break, and then you're going to hit ready to break, then you break, then you hit stop on the app. .48 that time. Let's try again. Again, placement. I place it in the same spot. I got my iCue lined up so I can see where I'm hitting the cue ball. Chalking up my cue so it makes a good mark on my iCue. I'm less concerned about the app and more concerned about how I'm actually breaking and the control that I'm getting. So you see, like, I'm hitting them slightly off center and I'm losing the cue ball a little bit. This is what I'm trying to improve. This is what we're all trying to improve. We want to hit that rack, get the cue ball to bounce up and squat right in the middle of the table. So this is going to help us practice that. Focus on the breaking and the control and the pop, and less on the speed at first, more on the control. 21, and that time I hit it a little bit on the left side. Okay, so 24.48, that was a pretty good one, decent control. .77, hit it on a little bit of the left side. .27, and that was a pretty square hit. But if we look at our cue ball, we can see we hit just slightly above center on that, and that's why we got a little bit of that forward roll. So again, this is the perfect storm of break practice because it's going to give you the best information feedback on your brake shots. You're going to be able to brake, and through using all of these things, you're going to ask yourself, what happened? Why was that good? Or why was that bad? And how do I improve it? Okay, everybody, so there you have it. Everything you're going to need to make yourself a better braker. You got the BreakRAK, which you can use this way for 9-ball braking. You can use it for any size of table, 7 foot, 8 foot, 9 foot. You can use the Predator Brake Speed app to tell you how hard you're hitting the brake, which will also tell you, am I hitting it at a consistent speed? Maybe your problem is I hit this one too light and I hit this one too hard. Or you don't know, if I swing it this fast, is that giving me a hard brake? How much harder do I have to try? And then, or how much do I have to take off? What is the good speed for braking on my table? And probably the first thing you should be concerned about is using this iCue. And using this iCue and setting it up, chalking your cue, it's going to tell you where your cue tip is contacting the cue ball. And that is possibly the most important thing. So you want to be consistent. If you want to hit half a tip above center, this is going to tell you if you're doing that. Maybe you're hitting a full tip above center. Maybe you're hitting it with a little bit of side spin. And the thing about it too, is it gives you such great information. With these three things together, you can adjust your speed, you can adjust your tip placement, you can adjust your brake style, your brake location, and you can document all the information. Maybe, for example, oh, every time I try to hit the brake too hard, I aim higher, I get a higher tip placement on the cue ball, and I get a lot of top spin because I'm trying too hard. Well, what are you doing? Are you tensing up your arm? Is your tip placement correct? Are you swooping your stroke when you're trying to hit the balls too hard? Sometimes on a table, you want to take a little speed off your brake. You're hitting them too hard. You're getting a great break, but nothing's going in. You take a little speed off, all of a sudden balls are pocketing. So again, just to reiterate, these three things together, without a doubt, will give you the best chance to improve your brake in a short amount of time. And one of the things I overlooked, which is probably the best thing of this whole setup, you don't have to rack the balls anymore. You get to brake. You could brake so many times in a half an hour. Take that and compare that to how many breaks do I get in a half an hour if I'm constantly racking the balls for myself? It's got to be 3 or 4 times the amount. And that's like a moderate guess. So, yeah, try it out, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. And if you like the content and you learned something today, please hit the like button, give me a subscribe, and hit that bell notification for future videos. Thanks a lot, everybody. Take care.